People quote this passage when they're lost. But that's not the real misunderstanding. The mistake is thinking this verse is about finding answers. It isn't. It's about releasing the need to control the outcome. Most people don't struggle with trust because they lack faith. They struggle because they have too much confidence in their own understanding. They believe that if they can just explain it, map it, justify it, then they are safe. But safety was never promised here. I speak now as one who has crossed unseen borders, where certainty dissolves, where plans unravel quietly, where the road forward cannot be drawn in advance. In the ancient record it is written, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6. These words are older than empires, and they survive because they address a fear that never ages, the fear of not knowing. Here is the realization hidden in this passage. Understanding feels like control, but it is not guidance. Understanding explains the past. Trust carries you into the future. Most people lean on understanding because it feels solid, because it rewards effort, because it makes them feel responsible. But understanding has limits. It can tell you how things work, not where you should go. I have watched many intelligent minds stall at the edge of obedience. They did not refuse God outright. They simply waited for certainty. And they waited and waited until the moment passed. Lean not is not an insult to reason. It is a warning. Do not rest the full weight of your life on something that was never designed to carry it. Your understanding was built for navigation, not for command. Here is the tension few will name. If you stop leaning on your own understanding, you might be led somewhere unfamiliar, somewhere inconvenient, somewhere humbling, somewhere that does not fit the plan you rehearsed. That is the real fear behind this verse. All your heart means something dangerous. It means you don't keep a secret escape route. You don't trust God publicly, while privately reserving veto power. You don't say, "Guide me," and then reject every direction. That threatens your comfort. I have seen this war play out silently in people's lives, not between belief and doubt, but between trust and preference. They wanted guidance, as long as it agreed with their understanding. But guidance that agrees with you is not guidance. It is confirmation, and confirmation never leads you anywhere new. In all your ways acknowledge him does not mean you think about God occasionally. It means you bring him into decisions, before they harden into commitments, before the contract is signed, before the relationship is justified, before the path becomes irreversible. Acknowledgement is not a feeling. It is an invitation. It says, "I will not decide first and ask later." And then comes the promise, quiet, restrained, easily misunderstood. He shall direct your paths, not explain them, not guarantee them, direct them. Direction implies movement. A path only exists if you are willing to walk. This is where many stall. They want direction while standing still. They want clarity before obedience. They want certainty before trust. But paths are revealed step by step, not all at once. I have seen people pray for years, for answers that only appear in motion. Guidance does not descend like lightning. It aligns like gravity. You begin to feel resistance where you shouldn't go, peace where you should. Doors close without force, others open without effort. And still, you will not understand everything. That is not a failure of faith. That is the design. If you understood the whole road, trust would be unnecessary. Let me speak plainly now. This verse was never meant to make life predictable. It was meant to make it directed. There is a difference. Predictability feeds control. Direction builds resilience. Some of you listening are at a crossroads right now. Not a dramatic one, a quiet one. No alarms. No signs in the sky. Just a persistent unease. You've thought it through. You've listed the pros and cons. You've explained it to yourself. And still, something feels off. That is often where trust is tested. Not when logic fails, but when logic succeeds. and peace does not follow. I have watched people ignore that signal. They leaned harder on understanding. They doubled down. They forced clarity. And later they said, I don't know how I ended up here. They did know. They just didn't trust what they sensed. Trust is not blindness. It is courage. The courage to step without full visibility. The courage to release timelines. The courage to be guided instead of self-directed. This verse is not asking you to stop thinking. It is asking you to stop pretending. Your thinking is sufficient. Your understanding is a servant, not a master. And when it becomes the master, it will demand certainty before obedience, and obedience will never come. So here is the single rule people miss. Guidance follows surrender, not analysis. You don't lean away from understanding because it's wrong. You lean away because it's incomplete. If you are waiting for everything to make sense, you will wait forever. But if you are willing to trust, one step at a time, paths begin to straighten, not because they are easy, but because they are aligned. If you feel lost, this verse is not condemning you. It is calling you. If you feel uncertain, this verse is not demanding answers. It is offering direction. And if you are ready to release control, not recklessly, but faithfully, write, I believe.